Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So, we're down here in southern Utah, just outside of Zion. I guess this is a relatively well-known spot. It's listed in places. It's Hurricane Ridge out here for petrified wood. Not just any petrified wood, looking for uranium petrified wood. Uh, you know me. I find that really appealing. Like I love radioactive material. So hopefully we can find some out here. I'm gonna flip you around. I'm out here with Sarah, Leica, my buddy Clint, Ryan, and we're gonna find some rocks. There's also selenite crystals here, and then apparently there's agate, but I'm less interested in the agate. I'm more interested in the uranium that has leached into petrified wood. So let's see what we can find. But first off, let's look at the view. Well, I'll just show you. Let's look at the view back there. That is quite pretty. Look at that. So to give you an idea, Zion is over there. BLM land. So petrified wood. It's pretty good. You can the cellular replacement here is pretty good. One of the things I'm looking forward to about this spot is trying to be able to identify some of the different uranium minerals. Here, I know there's at least 3, maybe 4 different types observed, so that's kind of more of a job for the microscope and less so the eye. But yeah, I think it's time to maybe grab some little buckets and we're gonna walk up and over the cliff, I think. Oh, sorry, I just knocked it out of your hand. Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so there's quartz on these as well. Here, why don't you? I'm gonna go grab a little pail. So yeah, there's lots and lots of little pieces here. Oh yeah.
So you get the quartz there.
Very cool.
You should find some bigger.
Yeah, I already found some bigger pieces that had some quartz like druzy on it.
Yep. And oftentimes they'll have like a think of like as the tree rings kind of.
Okay, so I'm here with Ryan, and Ryan, I mean, you're a local, so obviously you know way more about this than me and Sarah. But we have river tumbled cobble stuck into the sandstone.
Yep.
And this is sandstone or siltstone?
This is sandstone.
Sandstone.
Yep. The siltstone, mudstone will be above this. So basically, it's all depositional environment. It was once a shallow sea, and so the closer.
Are you talking about Lake Bonneville?
No, this is like the time of the dinosaurs. Edge of Utah, middle of Utah used to be an inland sea. So if you think of the whole U.S., you take the Gulf of Mexico and just push it up into the middle of the U.S. all the way up through Canada up to the Arctic. And then that was pretty much an inland sea, very shallow compared to like the Pacific. But because of that, you have lots of kind of delta-like areas where you get sandstone and rivers coming in. So these cobbles right here are basically you're close enough so that some flood event or something pushed the gravel into the delta and then retreated, and then you get more sand on top of it. Mm-hmm. So it's just the size of the particle is like basically an extension of how much force the water had to move it. So sand is not light, it's pretty light compared to cobbles, but it's pretty heavy compared to mud and the sandstone. So you get different layers, and that's kind of how you can roughly gauge.
Has the petrified wood here been dated?
I don't know. Usually you don't need to date the wood, you just date the unit. And this, I forget, but we're definitely in time of the dinosaurs. So at least I would say probably, knowing with Zion's, we're at least, in the hundreds of millions of years. So we're old.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the uranium, it leached out of the groundwater and into
oftentimes there's debate out in the west here, or at least in Utah, where the source is kind of unknown. People think for the main uranium beds over by the Colorado border that it came out of some volcanic ashes that volcanoes can spit it out, and then the water percolated through the ash, and the water got stuck basically in the sandstone, because sandstone's permeable. That's why you get oil from it. There's small gaps between grains versus like a mudstone. it's like clay. So clay doesn't, the water kind of goes down, hits the clay layer, and then runs along it versus penetrating the clay. So usually the way that the levels go is you have sandstone and clay or mudstone inner beds, and so you get concentrations of different minerals, especially out here like the uranium, which likes the carbon in the wood when it was still wood, and they got replaced. So it caused a kind of chemical reaction that deposited the uranium and other minerals with the wood.
Well, that explanation is infinitely better than any explanation I could give.
I do have a degree in geology, just saying. I am a different kind of rock nerd too.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. This is amazing here.
So yeah, the little cone, the little mountaintop in between the farthest in the foreground there is a cinder cone, and then the ridge line right in front of it's all basalt on top, overlying all the sandstones and silt, which is a much earlier, in time-wise, like more recent geological event, being on the cusp of the Colorado Plateau, which is to the east, and then the Basin and Range, which is to the west. So we're two different geologic terrains, and so kind of where those two are, there's a weakness in the crust, which allowed the magma to kind of come up and create volcanism here, which is very unique.
Can we get some of that basalt? Can you get over there?
Yeah, we can. If you go up the road, and there's another road that brings you up. There's some cool mountain bike trails over there.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a crazy big piece. You can see we got a whole tree coming out that people have been working. That's an impressive piece. Hey, Clint, you want to carry this whole thing up?
There's some more big pieces behind him too.
Look at that piece right there. Look in the hole.
That's freaking awesome.
Oh wow, back there too. Oh, and I see there's some nice chunks down there too.
There's still good chunks. That's what I was saying. A little more walking, you'll be able to get some stuff people didn't want to carry up.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I guess it's time for a workout, huh?
Yeah.
Look at this. You can carry this back?
Lift rock.
I think this is more my pace. Look at the druzy on that. That's lovely.
Canary yellow.
Yeah, so the carnotite that I have is very deep yellow, and that's kind of like more of a mustard.
Carnotite will be more like this kind of lichen color, where it's like a very, very bright
yellow.
But
you think that's carnotite?
I don't know what else it would really be besides some form of, could be, I mean, yeah, it depends on what it's mixing with. Like, as in the actual mineral, can it make that form? I don't know. Could it be uranium mineral? Most likely, because there isn't much else out here that.
I really wish I brought my Geiger counter. I didn't bring a Geiger counter, so I think I have to.
You'll just, when you get
I
home,
think I have to take
test it.
Yeah, this is coming home. This is coming home.
For sure.
Cool. Yeah, this is a very, very cool surface finds. It gets steep quick. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, a quartz crystal in there. It's very cool. Yeah, it's carnotite. I'm really curious as to how hot that is. I got this nice specimen of some quartz crystal. All right, you can see this piece in comparison to my shoe. That's got to be several hundred pounds easily. There's some big chunks here, but I'm gonna put a couple more pieces in the bucket before climbing. Unless there's that big log. Beautiful out here. So different than what we're used to. So don't correct me on anything, because I have no clue what I'm talking about, possibly. Just walking around a little bit. I think we have enough petrified wood, and you saw the abundance of it, but just kind of checking this out up here. So different than what we're used to. I could get used to this, though. Yeah, the weathering, the formations on the sandstone are so different than anything we have. Beautiful mudstone formations out here. So, do you know what the difference in the minerals are that make this up? Like, why is this? We got this like light gray.
Yeah,
then I assume iron.
And this is the same kind of stuff as where you go like in Death Valley. I think it's called Painted Hills or something, something like that. And honestly, it's just different water levels and different oxidation rates and things like that, where you get cool colors stacked right on top of me.
Yeah.
In the Southwest, though, this kind of gray and purple and like the Chinle Formation has this. It has a kind of slight green color. And the Chinle Formation is actually one of them that can host really large uranium deposits. But for the most part, water doesn't percolate through this very much. Like, it stays on top in the sandstone. It can't really penetrate too well.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of a whole bunch of other locations where you get that stacked, that layering effect of the mudstone.
Definitely, and so it's just pretty, and like it's just really crumbly. Like
yeah,
like you get onto it looks hard, and then you kind of punch. Well, that's really hard, but you can punch through. Usually, when you hike up this stuff, it has a crust on it, and you punch through into like the really soft, fragile, friable stuff underneath it. Just erodes out.
Yeah. Interesting.
There we go. Veins. So obviously, it had to have fluids flowing through it.
Yeah, that's cool. I've never seen a aragonite that looks like that. Maybe see if there's some more here. Yeah, it'll be fun to identify this, try to figure out exactly what it is. Yeah, just drove up the hill to this other location, which is pretty cool. I guess there's some different kinds of petrified wood up here.
The log is sitting at the top of the mud, but right below the sandstone, I believe. And so this stuff's all eroding out of the log that's on top.
Yeah, so...
But you kind of see here like the green...
green petrified wood?
Mm-hmm. Copper mineralization within it. I'm assuming it's copper mineralization. Because it's most prevalent and makes those colors, but also like, yeah, kind of the crystalline...
Yeah. I mean, I've seen, what is it, like chromium also making...
That's what it is, yeah, the chromium. But that usually...
Very cool.
The stuff I've seen for that in Arizona is the whole wood is that light green color versus like, this seems to be kind of...
Yeah, this is just like, there's a ton of this.
And if you look really close here, it's just a coating, it seems like, on that side.
It looks so much like playground bark chips.
It does? Yeah, it's just like... Some of them are really vibrant.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's really nice.
It has really good...
Oh. Yeah, that does have kind of a more...
There's even some on the actual cobbles right next to it, the little gravel.
Yeah.
So that's why it's definitely that's a good contrast.
Oh, wow. That is really good. But it's, so much of the petrified wood up here seems different than the stuff we were just looking at. I mean, like you get more white.
And... You actually look right here. You see the copper right in the actual sandstone here. The copper mineral right here.
Oh, hey.
It's all within the sandstone.
Yeah, you can really see.
And it could have been whatever the deposit was. We're on top of that mudstone, so this is where the water kind of percolated through and then stopped and sat. And so it seems to be coming right out of the boundary of where the two meet, which is often where you find the uranium deposits and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's impressive. Whole log right there. That's got to be 7 foot right there. Some pretty material.
There's some more behind Clint too. Nice greens in the log itself.
Interesting. Yeah. Gonna grab some pieces.
The easy way out's this way.
Yeah, it's very cool. So this whole area up here is pretty amazing. I mean, the geology of the whole area has me feeling very out of place. But let's look at the green petrified wood that I collected. So I got about a gallon. You see this? Some nice stuff. I like this piece because I could probably just easily cut the bottom off that and stand it up. So I like that one where you can see the rings. Pretty good. I think we're just gonna tromp around here a little bit, see what we see. Now the sandstone in the washes here is pretty cool. Just all the erosion. Look at this. That big undercut up there. So this becomes a waterfall, I guess.
Like right up to the edge. Like that.
Crazy.
So dumb.
That's crazy. That really explodes. I think these gloves are a goner now. Don't pick up cactuses, kids.
Especially without gloves.
I thought I'd show you what this material kind of looks like, a little cleaned up. A lot nicer than it was all covered in dust. But of course, we'll be heading back to the shop. We can look at this stuff all nice and clean, and we can test it with the Geiger counter. So this is most of what we got. There's a couple of other big pieces, but this is a good representation. Fully cleaned up. And well, before we kind of get into some of this here, because I've learned a couple of things about this material. Anytime, okay, you have the option, the luxury of interacting with somebody as knowledgeable as Ryan, that's into the same things that you're into, you know, a fellow rockhound, ask a million questions. You know, you just being able to hang out with Ryan some was a fabulous experience. To have that kind of local knowledge is excellent. Unfortunately, I went through all of this material that we collected, and none of it was radioactive. Well, I mean, slightly above what my background radiation is. So like here, I'm like 15 to 20 counts per minute. This material is like 30 counts per minute, 35. So although a measurable difference, like basically still within the realm of what would be like considered normal. So not radioactive. The green, this, let's get the light going here. This thing, that is in fact copper. I was able to verify that. It is beautiful to see some of this petrified wood with that copper. Lovely stuff. This material right here. Now, Ryan said that it was aragonite. Now, it could absolutely be a form of aragonite. And I can't, how to say this. I believe it to be calcite. Calcite and aragonite are like, you know, one and the same. But we have all the indications of it being calcite here. I mean, it's very pretty. I mean, you're looking at it right now under the UV light. And we'll hit the lights here and kind of we can look at that a little more up close. Yeah, I'm almost like blinding you, aren't I? Well, anyways, it's a very fluorescent orange. Pretty much that. So, and then on the petrified wood as well, there's a couple of pieces that are very fluorescent with calcite. So makes sense. Interesting stuff though. Now, yeah, let's see if we can get this out here. This, I have no worldly idea what it is. It is not radioactive. We have some kind of mineralization here that is not radioactive. It's a little bit of a stumper for me. I feel like it might be a little too weathered out for me to be able to get good identification on it, and that's just the way that's going to be. It seems kind of unimpressive, to be completely honest. Some of the petrified wood is very pretty when cleaned up. You can see here we have this piece that has some calcite, or not calcite, quartz crystals on it, which is very, very cool. Some of this stuff too, it's very lovely, like petrified wood, like excellent cellular replacement, you know? Like this, we have a nice kind of like seam of quartz crystal. Now, if you've gone and you've watched some of my other videos and content about petrified wood, great. I'm sure this seems totally normal to you, and it is. I mean, finding petrified wood with like quartz crystal, different minerals that moved in and replaced the organic. You can have all kinds of different silicates coming in here. And while, of course, you know, Sarah usually finds the best stuff. This right here, I gave it a cut, and it's quite pretty. We are now in the 40-degree range out here in the shop, so it's not, I'm not going to show it to you what. But it's very cool. You can really see the, I don't know, I guess like some of the growth rings in here. I mean, I can see it, but yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, the material is interesting, you know, like it's very good petrified wood. Highly recommend the greater Hurricane Mesa area. There'll be some information up on the website. Please definitely go give that a look. I appreciate you coming by, hanging out with me, enjoying our Utah adventures, and I will catch you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching my entire video. If you like what I'm doing here on the channel and you would like to support the work that I'm doing even further, you can do so by becoming a channel member down below by just hitting the join button. Doing so will give you access to a growing library of videos and posts, and it really goes a long way in supporting the channel. So thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate each and every one of you.